Alright, so let us get started. So first, obviously, we're going to want to reset this and get this going from the right place. Just to give a little bit of context, I have decided that while we will be playing from the actual... here we go. Alright, so we will be playing the actual proper game from level 1. We're probably going to be skipping out on the full grind, and I applied the no grind patch, which gives you double experience and double the money, because as anyone who's played this game knows, it is quite a brutal affair. This is the updated patch, so well, the updated translation, which updates a lot of the work that had been done since the original 1999 release. I have not played this before. It's my first time through. I can say from what I've seen, it's a whole lot better. I haven't really had a chance to discuss it too much before. I went through and did all of chapter 1, so up to Ami's part, and I went and compared dialogue box by dialogue box in English and Japanese, and the translation that was released like 20 years ago was actually pretty awful. So the version that most people are familiar with is unfortunately pretty bad. We're talking about mistranslations were a big issue, but it actually goes so far as to you would see places where the translator simply didn't know what was going on, and they would just make things up entirely. For anyone who's not familiar with the game, basically this takes place in a kind of manga anime mashup. I kind of feel like they aired on the side of the manga for a little bit more material when it comes to attacks and some backstory, and then also of course they threw in as much of the anime as they could, because frankly that's where the fans are going to come from. Additionally, just to kind of touch in on that, one interesting thing to note is that the name of the game, Another Story, as discussed by one of the developers, comes from the fact that this is actually another story, another retelling of this Illuminati story. So it's literally another story. I don't know, just a little interesting thing I thought was kind of fun. So the plot, as they're kind of describing here, is that, you know, all's good, it's in the future, yay. Light begets light, darkness begets darkness. Where there is light, there are shadows, and light, therefore, by its very existence, creates darkness, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And the Crystal Tokyo, suddenly there's, you know, astronomers noticed that there was some sort of celestial object flying towards the planet. As it starts to get closer, people started to kind of, you know, freak out a little bit. And then one day, if I recall correctly, yeah, we're going to get there in a second, kids start disappearing. And they're like, oh no, kids are disappearing. I think that's probably the unknown epidemic here. I don't know if that's... I should probably turn off my volume here on my other computer. Ah yeah, so there you go. So kids are disappearing, which is bad for those of you who don't, you know, have kids. Just kind of FYI. It is nice to know that they actually did get the original voice actors to join in and offer up their own voice samples into the game. A lot of the voice samples actually used in this game were reused in the I want to say puzzle game, probably not the fighting game, I think. So, you know, they did get their money's worth out of it, I guess. The crystal shaking, which is a bad thing. Evil energy. So as you can see, I'm sure, you'll notice that we do have the perfect guide along with us, which will help and, you know, give us maps, a little bit more context, and something to look through. And while we're while we're playing the game, we can also take a look at some of the shops and some of the background information. I'm going to pull up some of the information on the sailors, soldiers in a little bit, so we can talk about all that other cool stuff, especially their stats. There's some interesting and unique things about each character, and there are really no, I mean, other than Mercury and Pluto, which are basically just overpowered and destroy everything, there are really no super powerful characters that just outclass everybody else. So you can kind of make your own teams you see fit, which is nice. I appreciate that. Must have soldiers investigate immediately. But do they do that? Do they really? No, they're just kind of like chillax. Yes, look. Look at. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yes. Stop shaking. So I've actually played this game. Actually, more accurately, I've started this game about 5, 6, 7 times. And I've only played it through to the end, I think, twice. Once in English and once in Japanese. It's a grind. Just an absolute brutal grind. And I think that's always kind of what held me up. But I think knowing what I'm doing now will make it more interesting. And also, you know, it's kind of fun to do. And Hero's about to go to the main screen and say, "Oh my god, it says Sailor Soldiers. It's awesome. Soldier, yeah." I mean, there's a lot of contention. It goes either way. Obviously, the correct interpretation, well, I wouldn't say correct. Official interpretation is Guardian now. But, you know, to the very end, I'm still going to argue that we're going to go with Soldier. Or at least I always do. Then just a long discussion that I'm sure no one really cares about in the end. But I still have to wonder if there's really any Sentai series or male series where they would have translated Senshi as Guardian. And maybe this is just going to be an internet hot take here, but I kind of feel like they went with Guardian because when they launched the PGSM live action version in the early 2000s, they're like, you know, I don't think girls should be soldiers. Or at least that's kind of always been my take on the situation. I kind of felt it was a little bit, alright, hey, more people say hi. So I've kind of felt that Guardian's a little bit disingenuous because they don't really guard a whole lot, but, you know, that's just me. So one of the biggest things that we're probably going to get through in just a moment when we start up the game that really compounds what a questionable translation the original English version had was it starts off first screen, chapter 1, her destiny. And the Japanese is literally Heru Destiny, which is hell destiny. And there's not a mistake that anyone other than someone who had probably pulled up a reference chart of hiragana and looked through, or katakana and looked through, would have ever made, which kind of just drives the point home that I'm not really sure what the quality of the original translation was here. I don't fault the people. I mean, they did a great job for what they did, and it's amazing that they were able to, you know, actually hack in an English translation into the ROM back in, what, 99? But I think that is one thing that we should always be aware of when it comes to these fan translation projects, and that I would hope people would be a little more forthcoming about, is that there's a lot of cases where people just really don't understand Japanese and they try to take on a translation. So what they'll do is they'll take the Japanese text, they'll throw it into Google, and then they'll try to edit the Google translation into something presentable in English. Well, the problem is that Google may have translated it completely wrong in the first place, so you get a beautiful sounding English sentence, but you don't actually get a meaningful translation at the end. So what you're doing is you're writing nice English sentences that have nothing to do with the original Japanese, and that appears in a lot of fan works. Scanlations for one, article translations are another one. Not well, actually, yeah. Lyrics translations also, that happens a lot, and even game translations. I mean, it's fine if that's what it is. I just think that probably a lot of groups aren't as forthcoming as they should be, and it's something that people should be more aware of, and that you're not always getting the proper level that this needs. One also side note before we continue, I have to say I'm impressed that all of the Kodansha with a YA were changed to SHA. Props on that. Nakiyoshi, I think, is still spelled SI, if I recall correctly. Anyway. Definitely Hell Destiny. We know this because all of the enemies have their own Hell attack. But anyway, so you'll see Kodansha here. The original English translation threw it as, I think it was SYA. Not a big thing, but you know, that kind of stuff keeps me up late at night. So anyway, let's get this started, huh? Let's see, so we gotta change the window. There we go. Alright, so, as I briefly mentioned on Twitter, we were talking about the possibility of doing a level 16 run versus a level 99 run versus a level 1 run. So you would do a level 16 run by, I believe it's holding X when you start a new game, and then you'll start off as level 16, and I think all of your characters do. And level 99 run involves doing a button press code. It's like up, left, something, not the Konami code maybe. But anyway, we're doing level 1 because you guys are all a bunch of sadists and voted for that one. And good times. We will talk about it in a second. Anyway, new game. So there's the opening. Skip all that. We'll talk about the. We'll talk about this in a second. All right, Luna. I think the original translation also, you know, threw in the Chan. Just gotta get that Usagi-chan with every single one of these, which is, I mean, I appreciate the desire for accuracy, but let's not do that. I think they cut that out here, or that was another translation effort I might be thinking of. I have to say I like the music in this game, but it gets awfully repetitive with how long you listen to it. Because you basically have a very limited number of songs that just go on forever. I want to check it out. Of course we're going to say no. And then after this, if you say no, it's just going to repeat. Yes, it's like you better get going. Oh, my diary. I got a diary. Just diary to save. Everything you've done so far will be great to know. Only when you talk to Luna people. It's kind of a bizarre save mechanic. Hell Destiny. Alright. Off to a good start. Yes, I would like to save. So what's interesting here, we can talk about the other stuff in a little bit. I've never actually seen what the page counter does. But anyway, you see luck. Let's pull that up for a second. That's not what I want to do. Maybe this one? Alright, so you see you got luck in the upper right hand corner. When I just saved it was pretty good. Now it's down to normal. So they're about, I want to say, in fact, it's right here on the page on the left hand side. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different luck statuses that apparently, according to the game manual and the strategy guide here, change how your attacks do, how the game actually plays out, and how powerful you are, and all the other stuff. but people have not been able to actually substantiate this and find any sort of difference in a game, depending, no matter what your luck is like. So it's actually entirely possible that they just either messed up on the calculations or that, or they just kind of made it up. One thing that often isn't discussed in this game is that the more you use your special attacks, the more powerful they become. So it really is a good idea to continuously use the same attacks if you want to power them up at all. I'm just going to take a quick run around Isagi's house. You can, by the way, super dash using the left or right buttons L and R, or you can run normally using B. Apparently Kenji's a smoker, I'm guessing. That's interesting. They got 2 single beds, which I guess is better because they're at least side to side. I think in the anime they show once that they sleep in single beds. I don't recall. I mean, we do know they have 2 kids, so I mean, I'm just saying. Man, he's quite a heavy smoker. Kind of a ashtray in every room. I don't know if you'd see that in a kid's game nowadays. I know it's such a small thing, but like, really? Really? You gonna put in the ashtray? Is that beer? And look at that 90s style TV. Yeah. This actually has nothing to do with what her house looked like in the anime. I mean, I think we can probably all figure that out by the fact that there actually isn't a TV in the living room. Yes, I'm up early today. Yep, Kenji, smoking it up, I'm guessing. Let's see, what time is it? It's about, what? It's moving in on 1? It's about moving in on 1, so about like 12:55? I don't know. And she was still sleeping? That's not too shocking for Usagi when you think about it. Now this person, no matter how many times I play this game, has always kind of confused me. Like, I understand that we're doing the whole like city thing, and they just wanted to add in someone who gets a little more RPG style element to it and helps you out, you know, because they do give you assistance and they appear in different locations, and they also let you drink random liquids that for some reason a 14-year-old girl is accepting from strangers. But like, they just don't fit in at all. And then of course you got this recurring character who appears in episode 1, and I want to say she appears throughout the entire first season actually. She was, I want to say Studio Live was the one that always used her. Just for real competition. She could be. You never know. But yeah, she reappears throughout the series, but only one of the animation studios ever used her, which I always thought was kind of fun. Alright. Now Usagi can actually run faster than cars. I don't know if you know this. This is obviously completely accurate. You don't get to tell me what I'm going to do, Luna. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. We'll get to the characters' special attributes in just a little bit. There are some interesting things about all the characters. For example, Haruka is actually really quick to fall asleep, so she's actually much more likely to be hit by that status effect. Not fall asleep, she's more likely to be hit by confusion and then kill your party, because she's one of the most powerful characters. And Neptune is more likely to actually be hit by sleep, but they're both weak to status effects, or they're more likely to be hit by status effects. Neptune is actually also the 3rd strongest in the game, which I find a little bit bizarre. There you go. I'll talk about that in a little bit, and also the formations, all the good stuff. Anyway, that's about Pajuma. We're gonna skip all that. There we go. So here's where we are. So anyway, there's a lot of weird stuff about the game. It is kind of cool. Characters do power up as you use their special abilities. Clueless, I was in exact position. Wow, I'm not clueless. I'm just lost. And also, one interesting thing to note is that the characters themselves also boost each other's stats. So for example, if you had, you can notice that it's at higher levels, but if you had a character who is, say, like 100 strength, and then you had the rest of the party, they were all 10 each, so you had 4 other characters with a strength of 10, then they would each be hitting much lower than if you had, for example, a character with 100 and then the rest of them all had 40. Small thing, but all of the characters, basically it takes the, not the average, but it kind of puts all the characters' strengths together when you're fighting together as a party, which is kind of interesting. Nora, I don't know. I hope she's not being attacked by somebody. It's Sunday morning. Wait, what? Is it Sunday? Or sunny? Oh, I can't read. It's a sunny morning. You buying cigarettes, guy? No? Oh, I held the arcade here. Okay. Oh, shopping. Okay, fine. It's an office lady. Okay, that's nice. What are you selling? Orange juice. Wow, I have 2,000 yen. Yoshi. Oh, interesting. Rice pop back. So, as an aside, one time in my younger years, I was playing through the Magic Knight Rayearth Super Nintendo RPG, and this was before there was an English patch or anything. So I decided to give it a nice playthrough, and you know, to see how far I could get. Even though I could hardly read any Japanese, basically I could just like guess. Text speed. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I wanted to see how far I could make it through the game. And it was fun. I would change this to blue because I like blue, but I kind of feel like we gotta go with the OG, like green. Nah, we gotta keep it original. And I was playing through Magic Knight Rayearth. I made it through, I'll just say maybe 1/3 of the game. And I went into a store and I mistook buy for sell, and I proceeded to sell literally all of my items. And then I saved the game. And then I realized that I had nothing left in my inventory, and I gave up, and that was the last time I ever played Magic Knight Rayearth, the Super Nintendo RPG. One of these days I will have to play again. Yeah. So interesting thing about all this stuff, I mean, this is all just an RPG. There's really not a whole lot to say, but it is worth keeping in mind the formations and where you place people in them, because it will obviously boost your attack, but the closer to the front of the formation you are, the more likely you are to be attacked. So it's good to put someone who has a lot of hit points and attack. For example, Neptune is a really good one to put right up the front. Jupiter, not so much, even though she, you know, could serve as a tank. She's got really low speed, so she wouldn't be able to attack quite as often. So it's just something to think about. Same thing with items. You really want to be careful looking at the speed stat for whoever you have use an item. That applies. Just a second, I forgot to talk to this guy. I feel like there was something I wanted, but I don't remember. Not anything I wanted. The speed stat, for example, obviously choose which order your character gets to go in when you actually start attacking. And if you were to, for example, give a curative potion to Jupiter, she would do it last, and your character is more likely to die between, you know, now and when she actually goes. So you want to be careful of who you're actually having doing healing and things like that. I can go to the Hell Shrine if I go to the east. Great. Mercury, for example, has really high speed, so she'd be a better choice for that. It's weird. They actually did a really good job of balancing the characters in this game. Ah, look at that boofy hair. Just go holiday today. So it's a weekend. I would say something about them wearing their school uniforms, but that's actually surprisingly not that uncommon in Japan. Even though all schools are closed right now due to the certain health crisis, I mean, people are still literally walking around wearing their school uniforms, and I just cannot wrap my arms around that. I love this tower, and I wish it still existed. Anyway, let's go find our lovely friend who is currently getting attacked by Yoma. I mean, I guess we could visit, what's his name? Oh, darn. the arcade, but there's really nothing going on there, sadly. The bookstore. Oh, okay, we'll say hi to the Crown. Alright. Okay, accessories raise your attack and defense. That's good to know. Yeah, maybe I should buy some. Sure, no, it's not. I'm gonna be honest in that I really have absolutely no idea what the page thing does, or if it even matters, but it makes me really OCD about saving too much. Thanks, buddy. You great. I wonder how accurate that pricing is. Costs 50 yen. That costs 50 yen to play a game. I'm gonna be honest, I always get lost on this map. Which you're seeing right now. Okay, so we're not done here. I want to say it's up another street. There we go. What's up, guy? Black Cat's falling. Yep, I noticed that. Oh my jerk. Oh, somebody help. This seems awfully familiar. No. Transform? Okay, I can do that. Who the hell are you? Alright. Wish me luck. Let's do this. Okay, I think I'm gonna win this one. Alright, so I got life water. I got 1,000 yen. It's like 10 bucks. Sounds about right. Alright, demon gun of life. Talking about blah blah. She's wearing pajamas. So Naru is hanging out in bed wearing her pajamas, and Usagi is awake. I mean, what's wrong with this picture? So, thank you. I am the one that you can depend on. So, someone here was clearly watching the 1990s English dub as they whipped out the theme song lyrics. I'm just gonna say, good call, good catch, good catch. Alright. Yep, her sprite looks nothing like her text. Alright, I got an antique doll. Diary, sure. There's no such thing as saving too much. Mark my words. Oh, that's right. I had that hooked up to one of the buttons. I can save state if I felt like it. I think we're gonna try to avoid that wherever we can. Let me go back to bed. We're moving on to the shrine. So, yeah, what do you want, my wife? Where are you? I don't know. You have a dream. Just near Dark Comet. Summon. I mean, to be fair, isn't the Dark Comet approaching like 1,000 years from now? The future. Ah, yes, the past, future, and the present. about now. It's the future. So one interesting thing to know, just while we're, you know, killing time and discussing this game, you never actually need money in this game. There's never any time when you're actually blocked from progressing without money, which is good to know. There's one scene which I'll show in a short minute. Well, shortly? I think we're fine. There's one scene I'll show a little bit later where you do actually need some money, but it's not quite what it seems. Let's see problems. Great, going on. Diamond. You also, if I recall correctly, you can run from every single battle in this game except bosses. Bosses always fail. So you actually don't really have to fight anybody in this game except for bosses, but you would probably need to really be sure of what you're doing with all your special techniques and your equipment if you're going to do that. And you also kind of need money. Talking about boys, as one does. We can go to the library. So, Ami's here, like, talking about how, like, oh my god, I can't date, couldn't possibly date, what would I do if I was dating this? I'm in middle school, and then Usagi's here, it's like, oh yeah, just me and Mamoru can go chill out at his house, you know, alone with this 20-year-old guy. I'm not gonna talk about that too much more. Like, really? I don't know. You sure about that? Hey, ladies. Nothing weird at all about a dude randomly walking into your room telling you you look pretty. And then leaving. I don't know. I find that a little bit awkward personally. I don't know, to be honest, the like Yuichiro and like Rei relationship, I was never a big fan of them. But, you know, I know it was a big thing back in the day. I don't really see a whole lot of it nowadays, though. Miracle Romance. Ooh. Do you think? I think so. I think there's like a weird, if you actually like look at it in the anime, they don't actually kiss until like early in S. I think I wrote about it one time. I don't remember. I'm getting old. True. And you're like, Minako and Makoto are like, man, my life sucks. Oh no! This train's coming. So it's really interesting for me, and I'm sure like for anybody, this is totally natural. Hey, you guys want to like just follow or a friend? Or a stalker? But it's kind of interesting, you know, as someone who actually lives in Tokyo now, to actually see these places. And like Tokyo Station, we're going to be coming up on soon. They actually did a pretty decent job of pulling together an approximation of Tokyo Station, which I find pretty impressive. Oh yeah, see, now he's pretending she's all shy. I mean, I used to work right outside Tokyo Station for 5.5 years, 6 years. And I rode the train to Tokyo Station every day. So, just kind of interesting to see the place, you know, video game form. And it was just, you know, obviously a game location. But if you look at pictures online, you see the, like, brick exterior. I'd say they actually did a pretty good, decent job. Yeah, we're not going to do that. No. So we'll talk about that bus in a second, but you do notice it does cost 180 yen to ride the bus, and you are required to ride the bus, I think, once, maybe twice. So if you don't have any money, you do get blocked out from that, but there is a way around it, which is kind of cool. Tokyo Station. Obviously, it looks pretty different now from 20 some odd years ago. Makoto, Makoto! Fail in your stealth roll. Whoa, whoa, hey, hey! Chillax there, Minako. Ray's got the most innocent remark there. So judging by the color of the train, this is JR Shinkansen. If you look at the colors on it, I believe that means that this was going up into the Tohoku area. So you almost have moved up somewhere north. Just a random aside. Oh no. A monster? Let's check it out, girls. No smoking, thank God. Platform 5. Yeah, I think they went for BR to West Japan. I don't know if that would be accurate. Yeah, BR. So just as a play on the JR chain system. Transform. Alright, yeah, we can do that. Star power, my star power, Jeep star power. God's power, blah blah blah. Remember that thing I said about saving? You can never save too much? Yeah, we're gonna do that. So this is the normal formation, which I think just leaves everybody in the same. Shoot. We're going to talk about formations. I wonder if they did mean shoot as in like a slide shoot. I'm not sure about that. No, we don't talk about formations here. That's in the instruction book. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I feel like this might be more like a shoot isn't shoot. But anyway, whatever. Arrow. So arrow basically puts the person right up the front. Has increased attack power. Victory puts two people right up the front with increased attack power. And then cluster basically just kind of has the best of both worlds. Ami is definitely not going there. I'm gonna put Ray, I think. I guess? I don't know. That's good enough for me. I mean, I technically am reading the chat on the right hand side, but I'm trying to keep an eye on the game as we go. Did I just change that back? There we go. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Alright. I don't think we really need to do anything fancy right now. Right, I'm assuming that quick level up is probably thanks to the double experience, but I'll take it. This game is a bit slow, as you will quickly notice with every single battle. Oh, right. You also notice that once you level up, it's just a huge jump in power. So the calculations that they do in this game are a little bit quirky in that regard. And that like one level will just do absolutely amazing things for your defense or offensive abilities. Also, one thing that's interesting about the calculations that they do is that they seem to calculate differently if you're attacking an enemy versus if you're attacking an ally. So an attack that would do little damage against an enemy will actually do a whole lot against someone else on your own team. Like, for example, if someone's confused, I think you have, if someone's sleeping, you have to punch them. No, I think you wake them up. I think it's confused, you have to punch them. Or most aspects. Anyway, ignore me. Get a vision in my dream. Okay. Past and future changed. Good. Don't stand it. But history. Okay. Destiny is going to be altered. Destiny, you say? We'll have a different future? Okay. The past will be affected. Well, that's a bad thing. Alright, so I guess Ray's gotta shower up. Or take a bath, whatever. So we got Sin. Okay, new enemy. Telephone, Haruka, and so Usagi's gonna go pick up the phone at someone else's house? It's the phone, okay. Should you get the it's not my house. And this song will just drive you insane. So you're gonna take the call? Yep, that'll be me. Now, how do they knew to call Ray's house is also a bit weird. Got a problem. Something's wrong with Hotaru. Okay, so you're naturally calling me. She's sick. No, it's... don't know what caused it, but... listen. So you'll notice that this is where the story kind of jumps and is a little bit different from the rest of the game after the Juban Hospital. Because, you know, obviously at the end of S, this is totally not what happened. But the game was actually being made while Sailor Moon S was actually still being made. And in fact, they only started getting information about the whole, like, Haruka and Michiru when they were still silhouettes at the end of R. So they were constantly changing the game as the series developed, which is why some of the storyline, you know, doesn't fit in so well. In case you're curious. Alright, nothing special here. I think... I don't need a bus. This is for the losers. Hospital... I want to say it's this way. Somehow, no matter how many times I play this game, I still get lost all the time. What is that? Is that a save point? Alright, she's on the 3rd floor. Good. Alright, one on the far left. Cool, cool. Save point. And yes, I agree. If you are a fan of the series, you will definitely enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. It also gives you a little bit more kind of insight into kind of the world, which is really cool. And again, you can just run around the city, and actually it's, for me, one of those modern day RPGs. Which, I mean, by modern day, I mean the 90s. But things like Earthbound, the Persona series, and games like this have always been something that have appealed to me. So if you are a fan of the series, and you are a fan of kind of RPGs set in the normal world, then I think you'd enjoy it. Give it a shot. Alright, found it. No, the 3D adventures, I never had a chance to play on the PC, but that's something that I've always wanted to play. Need to track down a copy one of these days. Oh yeah, Mugen Academy. You know, it blew up, but it's good again. Relieve the pain. Darn crystal. Well, hopefully Mr. Snipe's not coming back. Transformed to living. Well, I felt that my very destiny had changed. I am kind of curious, since we do have the person who worked on the translation in the chat, what was the choice to go with capitalizing destiny throughout? Was that just a kind of find and replace all? Was that a specific decision during the translation stage? Check up. Wait a minute. Machida's like, oh yeah, hell no. I put a do not disturb tag on the door, woman. I have to admire how aggressive she gets over this. She's surprised to see a nurse walk into a hospital room of a sick patient. Boom! Die. Alright. Pharmacon. Wow, she's right in the back in the worst possible place. We're just gonna do that. There's really never any reason in this game to not use all your magic abilities, seeing as you get all of your EP back right at the end of battle. Though it also takes up time, and this game is really slow. Experience 6? Wow. So this is interesting. We're just going to stop here for a quick hot second. And I think this may be a translation. I don't want to say error per se, but it was probably something that's missed in the translation, or I'm going to see it in the next line of dialogue. Is that they actually do refer to this enemy as a daimon, and probably a lot of people are like, that wasn't a daimon, it was a droid. And that actually is an important element that even the official guidebook points out. So it was an intentional dialogue choice that they used the phrase daimon. Oh, I know it's Michiru apparently says line, so we're going to take a look at that in a second. And that was because the... Yeah, see, she should have said daimon here. And that was an intentional choice by the developers of the game, because they had never encountered droids before. They had only encountered Yoma in the Moon Kingdom and Daimon during the S arc of the story. So, it's kind of me being nitpicky, but it actually is an intentional part of the plot that they had said the word Daimon here. Fun, fun. Let me pop back on to that. Anyway, really scary. Yes, Usagi, it is really scary. Let's get us back to the hospital. There we go. We're about to get there. I mean, I guess it is a glaring issue for fans who are seeing it and don't have the guidebook right in front of them. But it is interesting that it was a choice that they made during the development process. This foe. The opposite. This is yet another one of those cases where the sprites look nothing like the person. Not them. The main characters actually look alright. One district has been changed. But Apsu here looks absolutely nothing like the sprite. This, oh yeah, with one flashlight, boom. You're now more powerful than the Zero Senshi. Good. Done. Totally. I am kind of curious why we have to get the silver crystal back in the past and we can't just get, I don't know, the future silver crystal. Seems like we're trying to overly complicate things. Get those whoosh. I think he's gonna go easy on the princess. So it is interesting to, when you stop, I mean, going back to the diamond thing, when you stop and think about the fact that they do refer to everybody pretty much as Yoma throughout this. And obviously they aren't. So it's hard to say if they mean the generic Japanese term Yoma, or if they're using the term as in the, like, Season 1 enemies that we're talking about. You could go either way. I don't recall what the original translation did. I feel like they went with the, like, actually they referred to them as the Yoma, if I recall correctly. But I haven't played that in quite a while. Actually, last November, I think. Disney, Garobin, Jubal. All these good people. Oh, Saturn, you should not be up front. That's bad. Actually, we're just gonna punch people. Oh wow, no, actually, she may not have enough hit points to make it through this. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. So I'm gonna put... God, this game runs so slow. I also find it interesting that Saturn actually has a really low attack. I mean, considering she's wielding this giant sharp blade. It just doesn't do anything. Alright. One of these days. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so we're gonna get ourselves into another battle because I want to show you guys something really quick. Formation. Cluster is fine with me, but we're gonna move you and you. There we go. How are hit points doing? Not so good. So we're gonna try to level up for a bit. So, excuse me for a second while I run back and forth. Alright. So, just to show you something, we're gonna watch Saturn attack really quick, and then I'm gonna show you Saturn do another attack. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so Moon's just like smashing through people. Alright, so you see she steps forward and then she uses the glaive. Now where it gets interesting is if Saturn attacks another character on the team, you'll see something different. Assuming we make it that far. Boom, so she steps up and she does a kick. Saturn is the only character who has a different attack when attacking your own team. Everyone else just does the same animation, but I guess it just wasn't so cool to have Saturn come in and whip the glaive down onto the other Senshi. Just a fun little random thing. And you all are going to say, wow, did you really waste a moment of my life to tell me that? Yes, yes I did. Well, sometimes you need to attack your own teammates. I think if they're sleeping, that's one way to wake them up instead of using an item. Also, if they're confused, I think it knocks it out of them. Smacks them back in their own senses. But it's just kind of interesting that Saturn is the only character who has a different animation. And it absolutely doesn't matter or change anything. And we're just going to speed up because this is really boring. There we go. The joys of emulation. No, I'm not playing this on actual system, unfortunately. That's just cool. Once I finish this game, I was thinking about starting up the newly released, I want to say, was it Turbo CD? Turbo Graphics? The new game that just recently came out. Hopefully I'll have this done the next few days. We can move on to something else. Because that'd be fun. I haven't played it yet. There we go. PC and just CD, right? So I was thinking about trying that out and seeing what the English version looks like, because it is an all new original story featuring the Dark Kingdom. It includes all the original voice cast, and it kind of shows a alternative universe of what if the Dark Kingdom did come back, which is kind of what the Deke dub was going for when they did the what was it, Alien Doomchi series, which I always kind of thought was cool. Like Negaverse #2. Always been interested in the game. I played through it a little bit, but I just never really had the time to sit down and give it a good solid playthrough, so it might be fun to do together. You know, actually read up on it in advance. So I feel like I probably should have been paying attention at some point in my life when they were telling me what to do next. I feel like I'm going to Mamora's house. Let me check up on that. Let's look at the guide here next to us. Alright. So we're going back to my house. Alright, good. I swear I know what I'm doing. Totally paying attention to what people are saying. Right, so my house. Yeah, I swear I know where that is. Oh god. And remember, this is with the patch on that reduces battles and also lets you level up faster. This game, fun though it may be, drags on. Yeah, we're gonna do that. There we go. Alright. Let's go this way. Oh, Jesus. Please kill him. Her. It. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Sagi's house. Gotta go to the next map and then go down to the left. Oh, God. So I would probably say if you're looking for an English guide, you'd want to look at something like GameFAQs. Is probably your best bet. This guide here hasn't been translated. I suppose we should buy some equipment at some point. I think this is where we're going. Actually, wait, no, this sells normal items. You know where I can do that. Alright, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Where? Not the bookstore. Where was it that sold what I was looking for? Equipment. The earrings was the OCP. Oh, surprise! I don't know why that didn't occur to me first, since all the items are accessories. Now I just gotta find the OCP. That'll be about 30 some odd minutes, because I can't seem to make my way around the map and I keep getting attacked every 10 steps. If I recall correctly, pressing and going to the menu actually resets the encounter rate. Just for anyone who's curious about what you can do to minimize encounters, though I don't know if it's a lot faster to be, you know, constantly popping the menu back up. Oh god. There we go. As much as I like Saturn, great character, she's really not all that useful in this game, except for her like link techniques. Maybe someone will disagree, but I don't know. Speed up, defense up, attack up, attack up. So I'm just gonna be honest. I usually just double up on the attack. Once, let's see, Saturn's not gonna stay with us long. Uranus and Neptune won't stay long either, so I'm just not gonna bother. I know there's probably a better way for me to min-max my equipment here, but I always just like to end battles faster. How many do I have? I got 8. I didn't really count, I just kind of bought a bunch. Then I guess up 2. So attack. So manicures, where do they sell manicures? Is that at the Ota Fukuya, I think. I think that's where they sell them. So I will buy those because Mercury is about to get owned once it's me against the world. I think I'm going to leave the bracelets. I think the equipment also stays in here, so I'm going to buy two necklaces and another bracelet. There we go. So that way Mercury doesn't get murdered once I start. Because I swear to God. Oh wow, now I'm gonna have to spend another 45 minutes finding this next door. What was it? Oh yeah, no, when you start off as Mercury, and I want to say Jupiter is where you just get absolutely destroyed by the first few enemies. I think I quit on Jupiter's part like twice, because every time I would head in, start playing as her, then she would just get absolutely killed. First few battles couldn't beat him. And just the level of difficulty just skyrockets, and until you win those first few battles and get enough experience, you're pretty much screwed. Anyway, with an extra few bracelets on hand, I think we might be okay. Alright, so where's that store I'm looking for? Gotta buy all those acrylic nails from Mercury so when she can feel pretty for her date. And also claw somebody dies. Alright, at least we're killing people quickly now. I know this has to be frustrating for everybody watching. It's like, come on, it's one street down, what's wrong with you? Why can't you find this place? Yeah, come on, hurry up. Whoa, 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 go, 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 go. Yes, 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 there we go. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, I don't want the clock store. No, I don't want the OCP. Oh, good God. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 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 good. There we go. Alright. Well, at least I'm way over leveled. Maybe it's a street down. Alright, go. Oh, God. I was like one street up from it 3 times. Alright, so what was the thing I was advised to buy? Manicures. Which are spike nails. Attack up is +5 apparently. The Eternal Trailer. It's an interesting one. Oh, yeah, we don't want to buy 10. I'll buy 3. You can always get more money. Once the IRS pays up, right? Political joke, haha. IRS will probably never pay me because I live in Japan. It still won't let me update my bank deposit info. So the Eternal Trailer was interesting. I actually never watched it when it was originally leaked and everyone thought that it was probably a fake, or maybe it wasn't, who knew. But now that it came out, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's cool to see a few of this key visuals, but I also feel like, especially when it showed the other sailor, like, soldiers, it seemed like it was kind of lacking. It really just didn't seem like a trailer. As for the date, yeah, I would say there's about no chance at all that it's going to come out on September 11th. While the whole, like, health situation may calm down by then, you also have to consider that it's going to be a while before theaters reopen. Theaters still aren't open in China. And in China, everything else is back open for business. Masks are, I mean, recommended but not required anymore to go in. Even like Starbucks and everything are open for business. And things are running as is, but theaters are still closed. So you have to consider that even once things kind of calm down, how long is it until theaters are open? And then you also need to consider how this is going to be delaying schedules. I mean, animators can't really work from home, so if there's any office closures or anything like that, or any projects get pushed back, I'd say it's probably pretty unlikely that we're actually going to see the movie come out on time. But Japan right now is kind of holding off on declaring absolutely anything until the last minute, so well, there's Shingo. I'd say we probably wouldn't hear about a delay in the movie until about August. Oh yeah, this guy's swinging a golf club. It's a golf club, right? How's my party doing? Good? We good? Check my accessories real quick. So I do have 3 bracelets, 2 necklaces. Alright, cool. Ready for the beatdown. How you doing? You just like totally cool with the fact that a monster's in the house trying to kill your son? Does Kenji appear in the game? Now that I think about it? I don't think so. I think he's just busy smoking at work instead of being here and smoking at home. Hello, save point. I don't even think the game knows what day of the week it's supposed to be. Don't interfere. Guess what? I'm gonna interfere. Yeah, we're just gonna punch it. Because earlier in the game they mentioned that the school's closed because it's a holiday, and then later you're able to walk right on into the school. Shino? Slow down. What did I just miss there? Shina. I pressed the button too fast. I feel like I missed something there. Shina. Oh. It's also a crystal eye. Oh, gems. Pass me my crystal. Hey, I should go. Good for you. Alright. Talk to Mom, see how she's doing. Your son's not dead. Those are me, Sailor Moon. I'm Sam, of course you. Come on, come here. Come here, get her. That's my info about the enemy. Hikawa Shrine. Alright, cool. Oh, okay. So it's just play on the fact that Sailor Moon wasn't supposed to know his name. Cool. Thank you. I had a bunch a little too fast. Oh god, no. Alright, back to the shrine. I think at some point I should probably actually go in and do my link text. This is where it gets. I start. No? I leave and start. Alright. I got this, trust me. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, cool. This is the pointlessly time-consuming part of the game. Put Mars there and Mercury there. I don't think there's gonna be one of those. Only do up to 3. Put you back there. Put you back there. Why does it always look at Ray's hair as kind of like bedhead? I don't know, but it always just looks bad to me. Everyone else looks good. Ray? I don't know. No? Okay. There's no like super like group thing. Oh, alright. Oh, did you guys have to do like Arbo? It's always a hard thing translating with games. And even manga has the same problem. Oh yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Alright, cool. Because manga, you have these really... I swear I know what I'm doing. Oh wow, really? Like 37 link combinations, but we're just gonna call that for now. Yeah, we haven't seen GBUSA yet either. But basically, right when you start the game, you can do all the link combinations if you want to. There are about 37 in total. How are we doing with that shrine? It is such a hassle to go through each and every one of them. I was talking about something. Ray and her bedhead was definitely not what I was talking about, but I think it is important. Here we go. Cool. Come on, hurry up. I really should try out that you can actually run away from every single battle. But I'd like money and experience. Go, go, go. Da, da, da. So the bus stop here. You can ride the bus anytime. Bus costs 180 yen. Take the bus, we're not gonna do that. I think we have to also take a bus to Mamoru's house. I think that's where it pops up, which we'll talk about in a sec. Yes, what's up? Joe works hard. Summon, ladies. Good, good. Bird. Hi, Bird. What's up, guy? Alright, cool, cool. As you have probably realized by now, yes, I'm gonna save at every given opportunity. If I don't max out that page number in the upper right hand corner, I'm gonna be disappointed. And again, if anybody knows why they're doing page number counting, that'd be great. Would love to know. Why did you have to transform to this? mean, it's not like Luna doesn't know who Sailor Moon is. Digging Crystal Palace's computer. He's around from the future. Okay. Black Moon's, yeah, the Black Moon's gone. It's another enemy that's kind of like the Black Moon, but not. Called a Neo Queen Serenity. Okay. That's not good for Pluto. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. Computer's not working. Go for it, Luna. Oh, Luna didn't fix it. No, wait. What? Something's not right. No, it's not. Soldiers change this name. Saber soldiers will come to meet your end. This will be the grass of Hell Destiny. Which you have to admit is a pretty awesome name. Oh no. And is there a reason why the Inner Senshi didn't, like, I don't know, call her and be like, hey, there's a threat at the middle school, we're gonna, like, go there, could you maybe come join us? I mean, I know that she was saving Shingo, but didn't seem like something that she should have mentioned. We need to get some intel first. Alright. So we're just gonna leave them to die. Because we need to go, like, run around town to get some info. I mean, you have to admit, like, Usagi's kind of right here. It's an interesting turn of dialogue, and I guess they're just trying to point out the difference in the outer Senshi's, like, look on life, but it is kind of a pointless exchange, unfortunately. Maybe it's just me. Oh god. Hospital, 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 hospital. Hospital, hospital, hospital. No, we're not going to the hospital, we're going to the middle school. In the middle schools, I want to say we're going to go one map to the left and send the top left there. I swear I'll find it. And you guys get to be along for the ride. And no, they're just like, Grandpa's totally cool. I mean, to be fair, Grandpa, you know, is like, hey, girls, short skirts, want to be at my temple. That's cool. So we can't be too surprised with that. Yuichiro probably is actually pretty much of the same mind. I need a better border for the bottom of the screen. On the Twitch stream, because you've got the game on the right hand side, good. With the strategy guide top left, alright, here's this goal. And I really just could not fill that bottom right space, and I didn't want to stretch the screen, so maybe a black border would make more sense. Whatever. Oh, you will see. Alright. Just to wander out. Oh, we got Tokyo Tower in the shot. Good go. Good go. Good go. Alright, so this is one of those places where the original translation had gone absolutely to hell. It's a fantastic line in here where one of these students mentions to you that there's a, I want to say a clown? I don't recall what it is they say about the clown, but they're talking about this clown for absolutely no reason. It comes out of nowhere, and then you find out that it's clearly in reference to the Crown Cafe that they're talking about, Motoki. And it's like, really? You really mistranslated a just important location that appears in almost every episode, and definitely every season of the entire series, and you get the clown suit Right, yeah, the clown suit somebody has a crush on. Um, and that was what really drove it home. The original translation is just absolutely a train wreck. I would say it was a Google Translate job, but this was in the days before Google Translate, so it's hard to say. And again, anyway, Sunsecured, great. Oh, cool. Um, I don't want to knock the original translators too much because they did a great job in 1999 and the day before, online dictionaries, Google Translate, and the ability to, do all this other amazing stuff that we have these conveniences on our own phones nowadays. What am I saying? So without all the modern conveniences, they still did a pretty impressive job. But on the other hand, I think it is worth being aware of the quality of some of the translations that we're working with. Oh good, we went for the dream spelled backwards in translation. Weird. And yeah, clown suits. It's pretty impressive. A lot of fan translations end up like that, and it's always hard to comment on. I don't want to tell people, hey, don't go out there and, are you okay? Good. I don't want to tell you to not be a translator. I don't want to tell you to not work in your ability set. But on the other hand, I think people need to be aware of what quality you're bringing to the table. And that's all I think that we need to advocate more for as fans. Don't wait just a second. Don't run in the what? Watch me. Don't run in the halls. You don't get to tell Sailor Moon what to do. No loitering? I will loiter. But yeah. So again, I don't want to talk about how bad translations are, and I don't want to discourage people because that's not what my goal is. Again, I was there. If you were to look on the internet and look in the dark recesses of probably the Wayback Machine and look up several of my handles that I used many years ago that I will not publicly discuss, you could probably find doujinshi and stuff that I translated way back in the day. We're gonna go and talk to them this way. And we're going to, I'm just gonna leave Ray alone. And you'll find, I did some pretty horrible translation work. We all start out there. But on the other hand, I think it's just something that the fans need to know. I've seen a lot of games that were translated, again, I mentioned this before, where the person just took all the text of the game, threw it into Google Translate, rewrote it so the sentences sounded great, they sounded totally natural. But they never had an ability to check it, against someone who actually spoke proper Japanese and made sure that the nuance was there. And then fans who play this game are now going to use the text written into it as if it's some sort of gospel. And there's also this weird belief. Oh, Mamoru came back to Ray. It's adorable. I have to say, I do think the Mamoru and Ray kind of dating era was actually really cool. I thought they had an interesting relationship. Though I know that's kind of up in the air when you talk to fans. But going back to the point, there's a weird tendency amongst fans to believe that the fan translation is more accurate than the official translation. So I think that's something that we constantly need to be aware of, that the accuracy of the translation may not be what we think it is, just because it sounds good. Anyway, I'm rambling. Going back to Mamoru and Ray, I still think they were cool. I actually do like that story arc. And I think they could have done more with it. I mean, I think it would have been kind of cooler to have, actually played around more with the fact that, Ray kind of did lose out and it did kind of suck. Though, of course, you could probably go either way of how much you actually really did like him. I think I wrote about that in the past. Yeah, I think Makoto actually deserves to live in her dreams, considering she's one of the few people who doesn't get to date anybody in real life. Did she really want to make it big as an idol? So Jakoku, I want to say, is this a unique enemy to the game? Oh, it's Senpai. She should smell his shoes. Oh, yeah, that's right. So it actually was from the anime. You want me to smell your shoes? Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe it's just I'm an American, grown adult, don't see this thing, but I don't know how flattered I would be to have some guy ask me to make him lunch. Could you make me lunch? No! No, why would I do that for you? And why is that romantic? I don't know. I guess I'm not the 14-year-old girl demographic, so who am I to say? No running the halls again. Watch me. I almost know the last one. I mean, there's nothing you can do with the line. It is what it is. Guy, you know, is asking to make lunch. It is a common anime trope, anime manga, and all that other good stuff. So there's really nothing you can do about it. But I don't know if I would necessarily find it remotely romantic. And it's one of those things I've always kind of found confusing. Will forever, let her be. How about not? Oh, Hikaru actually makes an appearance. My brother is in love with somebody else. It's for realsies. Sa club. The word of the place. Why would Minako dream about not being Sailor V anymore? That seems kind of bizarre. Did I miss the person who was in here? I feel like there's a student who was in here. And that's where they had that crown line. I'm gonna pop through the rooms real quick, because I need to check that out. Actually, let's see. Do they have... No, they only have the rooms that Vicinity we're in marked on here. So Venus was here. Alright. Cool. Now before we go up to the roof... Yeah. Chillax there, Luna. Oh, okay, so I had to visit earlier. Darn. I missed out on the clown, which I'm pretty sure was retranslated at this point. Right. Sin! Is this safe? Good. Oh no. Beg for the destiny we should have. Your damn friends should have seen their own alternate destinies too. Just want to need the crystal. Okay. Can't give us a crystal. Thank you for your opinion, Hotaru. I'll put that, you know, right in my back pocket right here. Oh, that's not good. I'm scared of it. Alright. I'm just gonna hand it on over. So I think what we learned here is that we shouldn't give Usagi anything powerful or important, because she's just gonna hand it right on over. That's some great like Super Nintendo graphics right there. Oh. Alright. It's supposed to be cold as ice. Words apology won't be enough. No, you notice he doesn't have his hat on there. I'm assuming because it would just take up way too much of the screen. Just be protected by Crystal's power. She'll wake up on her own. With the original Japanese text, I think, from this whole exchange, which would be interesting to go over at some point. So, just as an aside, I had actually gone through nearly every single line of dialogue, I mentioned earlier, for the entire first chapter in both English and Japanese, and screenshotted all of the dialogue. I was comparing it, and I was going to write up this entire article about how inaccurate the original translation was right when the second translation came out. Like, I want to say it was within like 3 days. I was like, oh, so I could spend about 40 hours playing the game twice, going through every line of dialogue, and then writing up this really long comparison on the nuance of the original in the Japanese, and then post it online for like 300 people to read, and then everybody will just go into the comments and say, oh hey, there's a new translation. I'll be like, oh coolsies, excuse me while I get my life back. There may still be something to it, just with looking at some of the nuance and some of the story elements that the game was trying to get across. But yeah, I kind of had to abandon that project. Die now. Please die now. She has a really ditzy and weird way of talking, even the Japanese one. So I would like to do the write-up. Yeah, unfortunately it's just massively tedious to go through the entire game in both languages and then you know, do a comparison line by line, especially because I wasn't able to find an easy way to dump all the text to get an Excel file with a line by line comparison, and also it's not even in order even if you're to do that. Oh no, they killed Saturn again. Darn. Well, it's not dead technically, but anyway. So, kind of had to abandon that. It's on the side. I still have all the screenshots though if I ever want to go back to it. Sure, he's getting a rest. He slept a wink. Let's get a rest. We'll watch him. I mean, I know we've never really hung out with Mamoru for more than like 15 seconds, but I'm just gonna smother him with a pillow. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I really don't get this whole like leaving Uranus and Neptune to guard Mamoru. Like, really? But they're not even gonna do that. Well, daughter's at the hospital, improving. The full force of the black light. I have a feeling that it's probably talking about the shadow energy. Anyway, all you guys did, all of you fell right into the trap, and somehow didn't even bother to, you know, tell anybody about that. Should we do something? What? What was that? So I was reading a Japanese page comparison review of this game, and in the Japanese review they said what an interesting thing about the dialogue here is that Zoisite's like personality and text, like the way he actually talks back in the past, is more in the style of how he talks in the manga, whereas the way that he talks in the present is more like the anime, which is just kind of a bizarre mashup that probably someone who's writing the script either did subconsciously or did on purpose just to kind of like mash the two universes together. But it comes out as really awkward when you're reading the dialogue in Japanese. Still him with the opposite force, positive energy. I can only wonder what kind of hell you went through on this line. You must instill him with the opposite force, positive energy. I think it depends on how you read it. I'm gonna turn to normal. I can bring that positive energy. What is purpose? The true stones. Okay, good. The true stones. Yeah, I think the original translation just left all these in Japanese because they're like, yeah. Now what the hell? They were really iffy in the original translation on what they translated and what they left in Japanese, like Ginzushou and all that. I feel like they left these in Japanese. They left entirely dark when their light was sent to separate stones. Okay. How that is normally impossible. Okay, but it did happen. License was sealed away, sleeping somewhere on this planet. Good to know. Each means its dark counterpart. Choose stones to form. These stones bear our names. Save master. This one's Nepal. Okay, cool. This one's Canada. I don't know, but like ever since I first played this game, I've always just loved the fact that Makoto goes to Canada. Just seems so like odd and bizarre. Switzerland! Heart. That sounds Turkey. Just gonna check down what company that leads the rose crystal which lies here in Japan. Okay, cool. Coolsies. We're gonna find that. Don't worry about that. Figure that out later. The true stones. 5 stones come together. He'll regain his health. Yeah, the original Japanese script, the original English translation script just kind of like went off in weird random places. Totally made up dialogue. I feel like it was probably some sentences and conversations where they really struggled. I don't think it was that they were trying to make their own funny translation, kind of like you saw a lot, like the FF4 retranslation where they added in, I want to say it was like William Shatner jokes and stuff like that. But this English translation really suffers from, you can tell with this dialogue, and the original translators really struggled. And they just like, yeah, I'm just going to make something up. And there's just some dialogue here in the version 1, the 1999 translation. It just completely has nothing to do with the original Japanese. I don't know why we're trusting Usagi to like watch over people. Kind of seems like we should leave someone more responsible back here. Should be used to doing this whole like I'm a kid, it's all my fault thing. What just happened? Would I like to save? Yes, I would. And then suddenly my soul just sinks when I see Mercury here all on her own. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. What do I want to do? She's level 7, so she might actually be okay for these first few battles. What a view. So she's here sightseeing. Did anyone ever like wonder how they got here? Just don't say the Mercury. Cool, cool. Well, that's bad. We're in Switzerland for starters. So what are the stores available to us? So we have an inn where we can stay for 500 yen. We've got Hans's house. And then we've got a store where we're definitely going to want to buy stuff. Oh, they sell bracelets and stuff, will be fine. I guess I didn't need to buy bracelets. Interesting. Unconscious, okay. Random dude brought a young kid to his house. Nothing weird about that. Beneath the glacier. 200 years. First outsider to come to your ages. Nothing weird about that at all. Just like, yeah, you seem like a nice guy. Just stay at your house. Is that not a chest? It looks like it should be a treasure chest. I'm probably pressing the wrong button or something. Just like, let me check my puzzle. How am I doing on the puzzle? There's no way I'm going to collect everything, by the way. Oh yeah, I'm not doing well at all. Because I'm not going out of my way to get the puzzle pieces. Like I should or something. Alright. Hans, you want to talk about this lady here? No? Okay, cool. Oh, that is in the chest. Never mind. Oh, the dark stone's reacting. So the light stone must be around here somewhere. What a coincidence on me. What are the odds? Yeah, that's a very good question. He's just inconsiderate and walks into random people's houses. Ami also must speak pretty good English. Man, all the kids look alike. I guess you're big bro, even though you look the same. Okay, no, who's got it? Everybody's brother? Oh, we should probably equip you. Bracelet. I'm gonna give you one necklace. 2 bracelets since we need to actually like make our way through these battles. Item shop. What do you got? Guess we should probably buy a few of these just in case. HP. Buy some of those. Cures numbness. Buy a few of those. Buy a few of those. Defense up. Yeah, we're good. Alright, I think we're ready to strike off and see what's out there now. If I recall correctly... Is this the only settlement? Is there another one? Yeah, there's a second settlement. Where apparently they sell similar stuff. That's where the doctor is. I think it's one of these boxes that has a puzzle piece in them. Not boxes, barrels. I don't recall. This is like way back in 2001 as a wee little boy when I was playing this game and looked up an old Game Facts article telling me where all the puzzle pieces are. Okay, wait, I'm not supposed to go? No? Don't go out there? Okay, no creatures roaming around. Okay, just stay here. Well then what would you like me to do? Yes? Okay, cool. Let's try this again, Hans. What would you like me to do? Okay. Your mom is dying, Hans. I think it's about time that you let me leave the village. I have to say they did a great job in this game, despite the fact that it's a sprite-based 16-bit RPG. They actually did a lot of poses for all the characters. No, your mom's not doing all that right. She is gray. Good doctor, we can't leave. No, it's not gonna be okay. So, Ami's just carries Tylenol with her everywhere she goes? No, don't give her Tylenol! Are you sure that it's not the other way around and that Dr. Schwartz isn't the one who is selling snake oil? Is Dr. Schwartz a part of an MLM and he's trying to recruit people? I don't know, Hans. I feel like you're being taken for a ride here. This, like, Dr. Schwartz obsession. Yeah. Outside. Cool. I'm good. Cool. See you later, man. I'm probably going the wrong way. Dr. Schwartz asks Ami if she's ever looked into joining a wonderful growing team where they sell oil infusers and diffusers, and she too can sell all natural oils to all of her friends for a wonderful market, and anyone she recruits underneath her will also help her grow her own boss babe empire. This sounds like a Jedi scheme, really. Puzzle piece. I like the fact that they leave a guy right at the entrance to tell you every village you enter. Okay, so I think it's one of these that contains a puzzle piece. No. Boom! Alright, see, 20 years later, I still remember. I don't know if that's impressive or depressing, but don't think too hard about it. Tiara, defense up. I always wish that they included stats here, because we've got a choker, which... well, we got a necklace that increases stats, we got a choker that increases stats, we've got a tiara that increases stats. The tiara costs more than the choker and the necklace. So if I was a betting man, I'd say that the tiara probably provides better stats. Yes, it does. Right. Now let's see if there is another thing equivalent to the bracelet to up my attack that's not... Nope. Bracelet is still where we're stuck at. Alright. Would be nice if they actually told you what the stats of items were, though, prior to you buying it. Alright, so we're looking for Schwartz's house, which I think is... this one? No, that's the end. There's gotta be... one more down. Or not. Probably help if I was looking at the right map. There we go. Dr. Schwartz's house is... yes, this one. Oh, he's in the North Cave. Because why wouldn't he be? Alright. So I guess we're going to the North Cave then. Which can take a shot in the dark and say it's probably north? Could you just like entirely bypass that town? got this, Ami. This is one of the caves. Let's take a look at the map here real quick. Alright, D is his laboratory. Okay, so D is where we want to be, I guess. We're going to talk to him, and then I think he asked us to go find something or other. I don't recall. We'll figure it out. We're smart people. Ooh, oh, dear sweet God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, please God, no. Please stop killing me. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let me just check something really quick. Let's see. Hmm. That was bad. Alright then. Go, 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 go. Oh, alright. Yeah. Oh, who's having fun? I'm having fun. Yay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, fun. Alright. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, back to your house. And this is why people get discouraged when they play this game. Alright. Summon, come on, put your hand on his mother's forehead and tell him his mother's gonna die. Yeah. Good. Alright, cool. You do you, man. And excuse me as I change my accessories from attack emphasis to defense emphasis. I do have save states actually if I wanted to. Just didn't strike me. I have them auto assigned. And there I just saved. Was trying to play it the good legit way. But hopefully we won't do that again. Probably should spend a little bit more time leveling up though. Can you imagine just like how many childhoods this game has crushed? Come on, Ami, you can do it. Oh yeah, I need to buy some of the replenishing items like health replenishment and all that good stuff. Speaking of which, in that last battle where I just got absolutely decimated, I probably should have used one of the chocolates and given Ami some more like hit points. That would have been a great idea. Wait, just a second, let me get my puzzle piece. Boom. Alright. Do I need to find out where Dr. Schwartz is? I don't know. Alright, get some items. I'm gonna get some, what is it, the necklace, I think? No, the tiara. I'll buy 2 of those. Cool. And then these gives 50, so we're gonna buy 11 of those. I'm gonna buy 11 of those. 3 maybe? Schwartz. Why is it called Schwartz? Oh, what a jerk. He just names it right after himself. Alright, let's do this. So accessories. Replace our necklaces with tiaras. Leave 1 bracelet to give her at least some attack. What's our formation look like? Cluster, I think you're in the middle. Yeah, that's where we're gonna leave you. And I guess we're gonna go and find out that Schwartz is gone just to make sure. Alright, cool. How you doing, lady? Son of the family on the shores is holding the Northern Cave. Alright, good. Okay. We're gonna step out and engage in a few more random battles to make sure I don't get destroyed again. Alright. And this is how we power level. If I recall correctly, walking into walls still? No, okay. Still increases the chance of encounters. So I'm holding right into the wall. And then as soon as I step away from the wall, yeah, it puts me into battle. So, oh, nope. Man, the encounter rate in this game is brutal. Also, what's nice about having to power level your way through the game is that you can also just hold down the A button and it automatically selects. So I don't actually have to hit it a bunch. So you hold down the turbo button. And this is one reason why I don't want to play this on original hardware. And you hold the A button and then you just let the battle play out and you're good to go, as long as you don't get killed. Come on, you can do this. So this a few more times and then we're going to go and try our luck. What level am I now? 11, alright. Why am I only getting the same original battle? There we go. It's gonna give me some more experience. Interesting part about this game is that it is never technically gated in terms of preventing you from leveling up. So there's no point in the game before a boss where you don't have access to enemies, which is nice. That way if you keep losing to a boss you can always continue to level up. Chapter 5's enemies are unique in that their level changes depending on the level of your characters, which makes it all the more interesting because there are some enemies that appear in the latter half of Chapter 4 that reappear in Chapter 5 and their level may change depending on if you were more powerful or less powerful than they anticipated you would have been. If you were less powerful, then you probably wouldn't have fought, obviously, too many enemies during Chapter 4. But, you know, it is something that's interesting. Okay, come on. Let's see how this goes for just a second. Let's see. Alright. Oh, okay, cool. Good. Alright, come on. It's just amazing how much one level does for you in this game. It is something of a balancing issue in my opinion, but that is neither here nor there. Second, where should I be going? So we entered D. Up in 1 is there's a Luna P I can save. We're gonna save because I like to save. Oh god, please don't kill me. Oh, that could have been bad. All right. Sapphire earrings, we are going to clip those right away. Oh, really? They're not that much? Oh, no, they help out almost all my stats. Cool. Now we're gonna save. So when I get brutally destroyed again, it won't be as heart crushing. Okay, please don't. Oh, wow. It's amazing what a few extra levels will just do for you in this game. I don't know why, but that rock in the lower right hand corner always made me feel like it was a newly buried corpse. Schwartz, hi. Hey. You looking right at me? Nothing like a creepy old man hitting on a girl. Oh, 15 you say? Oh, not creepy at all. Oh, Japan. Boy name's Hans. His mother's gonna die. You gotta sell him some essential oils. I wouldn't say you made it here just fine here, Omni. I mean, like, let's be honest. We had a bit of a journey. Let's see. What does the Sapphire Ring do? Attack up. Alright, so we're gonna place the bracelet with that. Let's check this really quick. Don't think we're supposed to be going deeper into the labs yet. Let's try. Nope. Okay. So one of the shortcomings in this game, fun though maybe, is that just the calculations when it comes to your battles are absolutely insane. The attack, the damage calculations are just absolutely weighted in a really weird and bizarre way. And that one level up could go from an absolutely impossible battle to, you know, just skating right through it. Changing your equipment is really important because, I mean, a +5 sounds like it's nothing, but with the way the calculations work, you go from an attack murdering you to, just take it just fine, take it right on the chin. I guess you consider that a shortcoming, or you consider that, you know, just part of the system. Also, one annoying thing is that each of the Senshi, I want to say, have a full set. They've got 3 different things. Like, you got earrings, a ring, and choker? I don't recall what the 3rd item is. Ring necklace, maybe. So they all have 3 different special gems, gem-based items that they have to boost their stats. And if you miss them, it's just don't have them throughout the entire game. I can't buy them later. It's kind of unfortunate. It feels like if you missed them here, that they should like offer them up in a shop afterwards. Yeah, so let's save. Cool, cool. Alright. You got this on me. do you. Alright, so was I escorting him to his home or was I escorting him back to Hans's house? I'm gonna say Hans's house. You know, it's really funny playing this game as I am right now. Just to give a little bit of context, the very first time I played this game had to have been like right after the English translation came out, or even just before. I'm pretty sure I at least played around with it a little bit in Japanese, even though I couldn't read a thing back then. But I had a Windows 95 PC. This was like 2000, I think. Yeah, so it's a Windows 95 PC. It could barely run. I want to say I ran ZS and ES. It could barely run ROMs at a fairly decent speed. I remember FF4 I got playing all right, and RPGs were okay. Super Mario RPG, I had to have on like frame skip 5, so it was just jumpy and awful. But anyway, so I was playing it on a keyboard on Windows 95 on a really old PC, and that was the first time that I ever played this game. And now I'm playing this game on a 55-inch TV with an Xbox One wireless controller with my home theater PC connected to the TV and a wireless keyboard, and I'm broadcasting this to the internet. Absolutely bizarre when you stop and think about how much these things have changed. I am reading, I swear. That's way away. So anyway, we're supposed to go off to the cave to go pick up the items that he needs, but it's too dangerous for a young girl to go alone, so good old Hans will come with me. Thank you, Hans. You're a sweetheart. See, I was paying attention. Alright, back to the doctor's lab. Nope. Oh, one. There we go. I mean, also, if I think back 20 some odd years ago when I first played this game, I was but a young lad thinking about all those cool animes and Japanese and all the, what was it, Sailor Moon was still on Cartoon Network at that time? Maybe? I don't recall because I didn't watch the Cloverway dub at all. And now here I am, you know, living in Japan, speaking Japanese, married to a Japanese woman, translator by trade. Bizarre how life changes. So, it is kind of interesting to play games like this and actually look back on how much has changed since the first time I encountered it. And the difficulty hasn't changed either, isn't that great? Though I am getting double experience. So for anybody who's watching this thinking, I too would like to play this game without any mods or anything like that, just realize that you're probably going to die a lot. So as for the reason why I never did watch the Cloverway dub, that was because I had found Sailor Moon in '97. So I'd come into the series right after it had basically failed on TV. So you were way younger than me, and that would be that would definitely contribute. I'm old. So I had, let's see, I was 11. Yes, I was 11 in 1997 when I first saw the Sailor Moon Deke Dub episodes on USA, the USA Network, and I saw Jupiter Comes Thundering In. So Jupiter's appearance. That was the first episode I ever saw. And I got into Sailor Moon right at an interesting time where it had failed on the network. And yeah, it was right up in that Pop-Tart buy-in Save Our Sailors generation. And the series was supposed to be doing alright. You know, it was doing well in syndication, but it's kind of up there. You know, we were trying, I mean, not we, but I mean, people were trying to get the next, like, the end of R actually dubbed. But, you know, that didn't look like it was going to ever happen. It eventually, you know, did kind of come out, and that was cool. I did finally start airing on Cartoon Network. But before Cloverweight actually stepped in, I had come into the series through the VKLL subtapes. And by then I had watched not a whole lot of the series, but I had read through all of Hitoshi Doi's reviews of the episodes, and no, Hans mother needs us. We can't just let her die. All right, Ami. You know, I died. Let's bring the atmosphere weather. Okay. All right. So we're going back to this house. So anyway, I had read all the episode summaries on Hitoshi Doi's website, and actually I would read through them religiously in order to figure out which of the VKLL tapes I wanted to buy, because I couldn't afford buying all of them or even an entire season because it was way too cheap for a young 12, 13-year-old person to buy, except for maybe like on your birthday or Christmas. And otherwise begging your parents. So I would have to read through these reviews and then try to find which episodes sounded the most interesting. And then I would find the ones that sounded the most interesting. And I would watch like 2 episodes in S, maybe another like 4 episodes in Super S. Supers? I don't know why I always say Super S. And then another like 2 episodes. And it was all across the series. Like I rarely ever saw spans of episodes in a row, unless it was like an arc that I really, really wanted to see. It felt like I had to commit to it. So basically my exposure to the series after the Deke dub was through the VKLL subs, and it was all piecemeal and bits and pieces. But by that time I'd seen enough of the Japanese that it was really hard for me to get back into the idea of actually watching Cloverway, which is why I never really saw any of the Cloverway episodes. I don't really have any memories associated with them. I knew they were out, but at that time I was, you know, a nose up in the air, snobby, subs only anime fan, and I was basically the 14-year-old that we all hate who's on internet forums. I was that guy. I did have a Sailor Moon fan fiction website that I ran from, I want to say 2000 to 2008, 2007. So I was still involved in the, you know, Sailor Moon community on that level. I was a big member of the, well, not big member necessarily, but I was a member of the ASMR forum. I was a moderator actually. And, you know, still actually have some people that I keep in contact with that I met through the ASMR message board way back in the day. One thing that I find really interesting about running this blog, and especially when I look at Facebook demographics and all that, is that I've been watching the show since '97, so that's 23 years now. And there are actually people who read things on the blog that I write who have been alive for a shorter period of time than I've been watching Sailor Moon. I mean, that is just really bizarre to me. You know, there are people who were born after I started watching the series. And if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what. Yes, ASMR, the fanfiction website. I Sailor Moon Romance. So I was on that site like, way back. It was like one of the first websites I found. Then they had the web forums. I was really big on that for years. I was really disappointed to see that site go. What was the other question? Yes, the whole the cousin thing was not a high point of the good old anime industry, but it's I still think it makes for great jokes. I know not everybody appreciates it. It's pretty horrible. What was Hans's house? But for someone who never actually watched the Sailor Moon dub on TV, all I know is these stories of them and their cousins and all that good stuff. Where is it? What am I looking for? Look for Hans's house. Hans's house is number 2. Alright, so far right. Cool. Yeah, I was really sad to see ASMR go. Love that site. He's just gonna leave. Thank you, Hans. It's kind of sad that she doesn't like get to see the mother like recover. I am wondering, just speaking of the development of Sailor Moon as a series, is that now that we're getting Eternal Movie 1, which is, they claim coming out September 11th, but I have doubts about, I have to wonder if the movie does get pushed back, are they going to make the same amount of money on it that they had planned on? If, say, like some other major releases, they're not going to be able to get a proper cinematic release and have to go to digital distribution, are they actually going to get the proper turnaround on it? And if they don't get the proper bang for their buck, I guess you could say, then what is the risk that they actually don't make a part 2? Or worse, what if they go direct to video, which is unfortunately I think would happen. I'm kind of rambling and has nothing to do with the game right now, and if people who are watching this like 2 years from now are probably going to be laughing because they already know what's happened. But I do wonder if they have to go to direct distribution or possibly miss out on all the proper sales for the movie tickets, if we're going to risk them going direct to video for part 2 of the movie, Eternal 2. And what that says for stars. It's possible that they're working on 1 and 2 at the same time, considering how mismanaged Crystal has been thus far. I would say it's probably pretty unlikely. But I do have to say it's a very real concern that we may not actually see a proper stars release. Or that might just be like a straight like one-parter. Was it? Translation trivia. Hailspring Moss is usually which is monsters back in spring. That is true. The original one translated as Hallyo Moss. Basically they just had no idea what the hell they were talking about. Yeah, I feel like fanfiction.com was where, or was it fanfiction.net? I don't recall. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people transitioned to the fanfiction site, but it was just too generic that I was never able to get into it or follow a lot of authors because there's just too much to it. I'm not really a big fan of the giant like wiki style, database style like websites that seem to have taken over the internet nowadays. I'm not supposed to be here. Or am I? We're gonna go up and around anyway. And so I could never really follow fanfiction.com all that closely because it just didn't really have the heart and soul to it that I feel like Sailor Moon Romance did. The Halios, though, on the other hand, let's see, Hailspring, went through 11 visions, Haws doesn't understand. Spring Early Moss, that's true. It is interesting because spring technically never really comes, so I wonder if it's like, spring calling, spring caller. Spring caller, spring summoner. Also, really running short on space. Translating proper nouns is absolutely brutal, by the way. I mean, as I'm sure you realize. It's especially brutal because you'll translate a proper noun. At least in here, you have a chance to see it all the way through. And then you can go back and make revisions. But if you're translating books, for example, because I work on light novels and manga, in addition to my day job, which actually has nothing to do with translation. I suppose we could talk about someday. I used to be a translator for like 7 years, and now I just translate freelance on the side of my day job. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, when you're translating light novels, you translate names for cities, items, magic spells, all that other good stuff, depending on what you're translating. And then 3 books later, you find out that it was like this other thing entirely, and you're like, what? Well, now that I already like walked myself into a corner here, how am I supposed to get out of it? So translating proper nouns is probably like one of the most soul-crushing things that you can do as a translator. So I think Hailspring Moss, I mean, it works. It does what it does, especially when you explain it. I just read it as a proper noun, to be honest. But there is an interesting thing that you encounter when you're talking about localizations versus the original Japanese, is that a Japanese reader would have instantly picked up on the connotation and the, you know, interesting extra meaning in there, whereas it doesn't necessarily come through in English. It's the same thing with most of the Yoma and Diamond and Droid names, is that a lot of the puns don't get through, and then you're left with, do we want to keep the pun or do we want to keep the Japanese name? Deke obviously went, I think, with the more pun side of it. Same with I'm not sure about Tokyo Pop. It was kind of like a mixed bag with them. I think there may have been several translators that worked on it. And then Viz, obviously, because they're doing subs and dubs. Alright, so what are we going to do with you? With you, I think we're first going to lower your attack. Oh, damn it. Bubble Spray only works once. Anyway, now we're just going to punch you in the face. So with the names, we're kind of stuck, you know, using the names as is. But a lot of the puns don't get across for Western readers, which I always find kind of unfortunate. Not Western viewers. There's really no good compromise. You're kind of stuck using the original Japanese because otherwise, you know, people are going to threaten to kill you for over-localizing. But I still feel like it's kind of a, what is the purpose of Anshar? She's not a fan of me. What our goal is. I don't know what our goal is. We'll get back to the rambling discussion on the benefits and downfall and pitfalls of localization in a second. On the power works. So what's the logic? I do kind of like how they show Crystal Tokyo here, because we never really did get to see much of Crystal Tokyo in the anime, which I always thought was unfortunate. Alright, sounds cool. That was it? Alright, battle number 2. So, back to localization versus translation. I do think it's a bit unfortunate to translate too accurately, because that differs from the experience that the original Japanese fans have. It's the same thing with jokes. Oh wow, that didn't really cause much damage at all. Is this the battle I'm supposed to lose? I don't recall. I know there is a battle that I'm supposed to lose in this game, and they actually warn you if you're using the level 99 thing that you're kind of screwed because you can't lose. Okay, Manicures, got it. Double up on that. Manicure. Alright. Japan in quarantine. So, this is an interesting thing, is that Japanese law doesn't provide the government the ability to tell you to quarantine. They can only ask. So that has introduced an interesting problem in the country, that the government is incapable of doing anything other than asking you to stay home. Oh wow, okay. This is not ending well for us, Mercury. So we're technically under a please don't go outside situation here in Japan right now. Whether or not everyone else follows that is an entirely different story. But slowly but surely less people are going outside, but some companies are still wide open and just demand that the workers come in and ride a crowded train every single day. It's a bit of a weird situation. Also, the government isn't testing people. I think it's like less than 500 tests for the city of Tokyo alone every single day. So yeah, it doesn't work out so well. You're an enchantment. What am I looking for? I don't want to resurrect. Is this an enchantment that is just top to me? I don't have any poison heals. How do I remove my poison? This is probably going to end poorly for me. Let's try ointment. No, this isn't an enchantment. This isn't going to work. Nope. Alright. Let's hope that I'll just have to heal up. Where's my chocolate? I thought I bought chocolate. Or did I die and not buy chocolate? Oh, this isn't good at all because I can only hold off the damage. Might just have to use one of those. Oh, chocolate can't be used in battle. That's bad. Alright, Mercury. We may die. This game is probably ruined a lot of childhoods. Really? Really? Wow. I'd have to say Canada's probably doing the right thing here. Pretty much got to close everything, not allowed to be outside. Japan is pretty lax about the whole situation, unfortunately. I don't think it's going to end well. Am I able to use a life water? Because I would rather use those than the other ones. Okay, so I can use those. store my EP and then use another attack. Does this toxic just stay on forever? Because if so, this is gonna be bad. How are my punches doing now? Nope. Still not getting anywhere. Nice shard. Something tells me that I should have bought more curative items while I had a chance. Oh, that hurts. And life water. And more ice shards. And we're gonna do ice shards again. Alright. Oh god. Why? Why is this battle so awful? I feel like I should have been right up at the front when I was doing this. So I'd be at least be doing more damage. How are we doing on the Shrine Aqua Legions? Oh god, this is brutal. We may just need to restart this battle up front so I'm doing more damage. Do they not offer any advice on this battle? No? You guys just gonna let me just like fend for myself? Or are we missing a page? Interesting. Can I run? Can't run. Okay, I think we are going to reload, maybe? Gonna reset. And come in from the save point right before the battle because we should probably be right at the front, maybe. Formation. Position. Oh, Senator Cluster gives us the highest attack? And yet we were still getting just destroyed? Alright, accessories. I think maybe we're... We did err on the side of defense. Oh, I really don't want to drop 10 in defense though, so I think we're just gonna have to do that. That drops 10 in defense, that drops 3 in defense, but it also drops our attack, okay. Alright, let's try this. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. And save state. Alright, one more time. So we're gonna cast Opal Spray on you. Cool, now we lowered your attack. And now we're going to... I did not see what Shanako Illusion did there. This fight is absolutely just brutal and just totally discouraging, and I don't see why they ever have arranged it like this. But a lot of this game suffers from that problem. I should probably throw into my manicures. Yep. This game suffers from some serious balancing problems, which ultimately discourages players, and a lot of people I feel like don't make it through a lot of the plot of this game because especially Mercury is really bad. And just like, yeah, no, this is too much for me. Take a lot more damage this time though. Try an Ice Shard. And then see what my Shine Elf Illusion looks like now. Still no poison. I'm just gonna save while I have a chance. Alright. So it's going from doing 30 to 104. I'll leave one more manicure for Ray in case she needs it. And yeah, it's just amazing how swapping 5 out of defense for 5 in offense can have such a huge difference on this. There we go. And she falls. We gone? You leaving? Alright. Powerful enemy. Alright, so I say Lightstone. So anyway, going back to the exciting, wonderful crisis that we happen to find ourselves in. Alright, so sorry, Hans. Let's go back sign. No, you won't. Yeah, fortunately, I'm in a position that my company lets me work from home. And my wife's a freelancer, so she works from home anyway. And then I also freelance. So, fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't really have to leave the house much at all. Very lucky for me. It's a fortunate position to be in. I can still work from home normally fine. My company's fine with it. And also, you know, fortunately my wife is also a freelancer, so she works from home anyway. So we've already got all the stuff we need to work from home set up in the house. The only problem is that I have a very aggressive 2-year-old child. I mean, not in a like crazy way, but I mean all 2-year-olds are, you know, basically diving around the house, destroying everything you possibly own and value. So, God, I wish I had more bracelets. Which is very difficult to work from home when you've got a 2-year-old running around, like, jumping on everything. Especially your computer. And she, you know, frequently tells me that, oh no, you don't, you need your computer, just close it. Like, oh, okay, cool. Wow, she was totally dismissive. She's like, oh hey, what's up, guy? No. forgot that this is all chapter 2. I thought the chapter has moved on with them, but no, it doesn't. Save point. You know what that means. Also means we get to move on. Where can we buy stuff? They sell lipstick? I'm not seeing manicures. Item shop is there. Alright, that's all in the bottom left of the map once I can actually leave this place. Did we save? Maybe, who knows? Guess what? We're gonna save again. Alright, look at that, Ray. Done. Oh no. Nepal, after all, I sense a rhyme here. Alright. Firebird Soul. Fire Snake chokes foe. Multiple single. Alright. I'm gonna try that. Oh, damn. That was someone else entirely. Wait. So she's surprised that they were monsters, so she entirely intended to kill them. You're cold-blooded, Ray. I can kill you guys too. Back in the 16-bit RPG days where you basically just run a character into another and then make a static sound. Then again, that's what entirely what FF Tactics on the PSX was. It's like, you just make a smacking sound and have the characters like gyrate at each other. It's a fun game though. No, I'm rambling. I'm Sailor Mars. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh no, she passes out. This is a continuing theme as you'll pick up on. Pass out, like going to bed, good to go. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna leave. Yeah, actually, it's a pretty interesting game. They do a lot with the story. They give each of the characters a chance to shine, which I really appreciate. I always recommended people play it. That's just a cool part of the series that doesn't get enough attention, because obviously you get the manga, you get the anime, but it's something that a lot of people just don't get to experience in the series. Right then, let's see, should we wear those? So okay, cool. Breathe deeply. Got it. So apparently Jedi used to live here. Not weird at all. I feel like I'm supposed to be finding the Elder's house. Oh, random battles. Alright, so this is Lhasa, but I'm not in Lhasa, I'm in Yaga. Yaga's this one. Where's the Elder's house? Elder's house number 2, so the upper right hand corner. Got it. So I need to be out in the upper right hand corner. There we go. So, okay, so we got avocado and game center. Cool, cool. We got this. Should probably switch it back to normal attack. Yeah, no, you can totally play this on Windows. In fact, I'm playing this on Windows right now. I'm actually playing this on my home theater PC that's connected to my TV. But you can play it on Windows, you can play it on Mac, you can play it on any PC. I mean, you can even play it on Android, if I recall correctly, though I never have. You can play it on pretty much anything that has an emulator, but probably, I mean, if you have a PC, you're definitely set. In fact, I'm playing this on Windows 10, as I mentioned. Let's see, so I'm using SNES 9X 110. So pretty much do whatever you want. I also have a, as I mentioned, the PC is connected to my TV, and then I'm using a wireless controller just to make it easier. And for the Elder, okay, well, where's the Elder? Oh, there you go. I mean, Jedi is not a special stone by any stretch of the imagination. But I guess Ray doesn't know any better. Coop. Alright, buddy. Oh, no. You come with me. Oh, good, you're one of those jerks. Okay, so I don't actually know what a high priest looks like. And the guy just walks into you and disappears. Because, you know, it's an RPG. That's what they do. We're gonna leave town and head to the next town. How's my puzzle looking? Yeah, semi-respectable. I think we're gonna stop doing the special attack because they're not really able to hurt me much. It goes much faster this way. Fantasy anime. For games or to watch anime? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with fantasy anime. I use Windows and Mac, so either's fine. I use Mac for work and I use Windows for my personal life. Which is always fun because I think it was about 2 years ago, I was using a Japanese MacBook Air for translating. I was using an American Windows PC with the American keyboard for my personal life, and then I was using a Japanese Windows and keyboard for work. So basically, within one day, I was using 3 different keyboards every single day. That was fun. We're just gonna save real quick before we step on in here. Before I get murdered. I don't know where I am, and I'm probably not supposed to be here right now. This is about to end very poorly, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know anything about this game. Ray made some pretty poor life decisions. Well, actually, no. That's surprising. I thought I was gonna die. I know I'm not actually supposed to be here right now. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay, so I did make a poor life decision. Just a sec. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. So, if I recall correctly, at every level up you get all your hit points back. So as long as you... Ooh, do we want to do this? Save in the middle of a cave I'm not supposed to be in. We're going to save right over there. Yeah, you do get all your hit points back upon every level up. So I caused 80 damage to one of those enemies in just one battle go. Now that I leveled up is 100. So that was what, a 25% damage increase? Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here, am I? Yeah, I was supposed to go back to that temple. Alright. I guess I'll leave this cave and actually do that thing I was supposed to do then. There we go. Well, I was reading up on the old translation of this. I ran across the English translation of the Magic Knight Rayearth RPG that I talked about earlier, and also apparently, and I completely forgot about this for over a decade, there was a Tenchi RPG for the Super Nintendo, and apparently it was also translated, which I kind of would be interested in trying out. Don't know if anyone would ever, want to watch that, but I feel like now is a good time to give it a shot and see what happens. And now they're doing like 3-2 damage when just a few minutes ago they were doing 16. It's amazing how leveling up once changes everything, or once or twice changes everything. Oh, the Tenchi one did get a retranslation. I heard it was a bad translation, but I didn't know if it was actually retranslated. It's good to know. I think it was by the same people though, wasn't it? The same people who murdered Sailor Moon. Cough, cough. I only read a very brief summary on it. I think probably Rayearth is in the same boat, considering it was of the same era. Sadly. I did love Tenchi. It was one of the, I want to say, like, first 5 anime that I'd ever seen. It was like, not counting the animated movies, because there was Plastic Little and Eiko in there. But of the anime itself, I want to say it was probably the first 5 were Sailor Moon, Tenchi, Ranma. Then there was an assortment of like OVAs and movies like Project Eiko, Plastic Little, Devil Hunter Yoko. What else was out around that time? Basically, I would open the phone book, yes, Yellow Pages, because again, I'm old, and look up video rental stores in my city, most of them, being Blockbusters, because the bigger ones, and I would call them as a, young, impressionable 12-year-old, And I would proceed to ask the poor guy who had unfortunately picked up the phone call on the phone. And I would say, "Do you have anime?" And the guy would be like, yeah? And he probably didn't really know, but he also didn't really care because he wouldn't be working the same shift when I showed up anyway. And then I would beg my parents to take me to said Blockbuster or video rental store, Hollywood Video, what have you, so that way I could go look at whatever anime they had to happen to have available. And that was basically where I saw most of my first round of anime, and that was also where I found the good old-fashioned like pink Sailor Moon tapes, and I had a chance to actually see them for the first time. So I got to finish up and catch some of the episodes I didn't see during the original TV airing. And that was also when I got to see the horrible climactic, they totally didn't die, but they really did die, final battle, because I didn't see that on TV. That was a video rental, which I think is better. It would be worse with commercials. I have no idea where I'm going, by the way, even though I have a map in front of me. Wow, she's just tearing through people. This is nothing like Mercury. I don't know why they made Mercury so hard. Alright, bottom left is the store. Let's see. Alright, Ray, we've got 81,000. What do we need? Just gonna buy a bunch of those. I don't know why I bought those. We're gonna buy a bunch of those. Oh god, I really should just like do this in reverse order, because what I'm doing is clearly not working. A heady aroma. Towlet. Anybody? Towlet? Hello? We definitely need some of these, because that didn't end well for me. I'm gonna buy some of these so Makoto has a chance. Makoto and whoever. Alkir, did I buy those? Yes, I feel like I did. Towlet, it's really expensive, but it feels like it's important. Just a second. We're gonna buy a bunch of these. Fighting barrel. Oh yeah, and the good old brutal lipstick. I don't really have a lot of options. Maybe my 10, I guess. I guess maybe 30. Let's see. Towlet. I don't know what the towlet is. Toilet. Never mind. Ignore me. Why was I calling it towlet? Whatever. Yeah, I have to say it is brutally obvious that they're dying, even in the English dub. I mean, I know they're like, oh, I'm being pierced and stabbed by these giant crystals. Now they're gonna teleport me back to the Negaverse. It was clear that they're dying. Oh, it's an elixir, so I can see back all my stuff. I would love that. So for all its faults, I have to say I still do think the Deke dub did a good thing for what it was. Just for the world that it was. Oh, back in the 90s and early 2000s, the series would have never made it had they done a faithful translation. I know it's not always the most popular review, but I think it was, you know, pretty decent. If you look at it at it as an alternative take on Sailor Moon, it actually isn't that bad in my opinion. You know, I kind of think it did a few things right. Did a lot wrong. But I think it was interesting. I'm glad that it came out. And, you know, you have your options. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. The version that I show my 2-year-old daughter is actually the Deke dub version. So I actually have her watch that one. Just because I find it's, you know, it's in English. And know that Viz also was dubbed into English, and I do have the Blu-rays, so I can watch those. But there's just something, I feel like it's a little bit nicer, a little bit less fun. I know that the Japanese kids did grow up watching Sailor Moon as it was, but I guess for me, I just kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with the Deke dub to show it to a little kid. Which is kind of what they were aiming for. And that's my hot take for the day. Yes, I still show my child the Deke version. I guess we need to get the ruby. Also, the Deke dub had great lines like Hunkosaurus Rex, which to this day I still think is a fantastic line. That's not weird at all. And come on, Carry On was a great song. Carry On. What do I want to use? Wow. Okay, that's what a few level ups will do for you. Oh darn! I'm actually not playing through the whole game right now. I'm gonna drop off after Mars and then pick up again tomorrow at the same time for Jupiter. So I will leave a tweet about that anyway. But thanks for sticking around, and I will see you hopefully for the next stream. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's 2 a.m. for me here in Japan. So you know, it's either that or again, aggressive toddler. So probably over the next like 2-3 days, I think. I'm just gonna stick through and hopefully knock this game out. Did she just punch him in the crotch? That was a low blow. Just watch the poor guy double over. Ow. Okay. Oh yeah, no. No, I've already been here like 3 hours. Definitely not going to be able to finish all the way through to the end of chapter 2. Fun game though, maybe. I figure I have to break this up across maybe like 3 days or so. God named Jedi, and then like before he was Lord Jedi, just walking around hanging out with people. I guess we're ruined. He's been like that for 50 years. Oh my god. Sacred token. Sweet. Okay. Alright, so I need to go to the cave. Oh wow. Wow, the good old translation. Again, I really have to wonder if they actually knew what they were doing in the old translation. When you get things like Sonna. Like, really, guys? And so we need to go in the key and then find the upper right hand corner. There's Luna P. It's apparently a 1, but I don't see it on the map. I feel like they forgot to mark the map where Luna P is. Whatever, we'll figure it out. We got this, guys. Alright. So if I didn't buy a bunch of supplies before coming in here, I would have just had nothing to work on. Oh no, we don't want to snake fire people. It's gonna take forever. Fun though, maybe. There we go. Besides, Mars can just like punch people to death. She is like a freight train. Okay. Was it up here? Is that the cave I think I'm supposed to go into? Pretty sure there's only one cave. These maps really aren't all that big, but they're still confusing to me somehow. Alright, so we got this way. Then we go right. Then we go up. Right. Right. And then up. And then right. And then up. And then right. Okay. Super easy. No problem. Alright, you guys are getting burning mandolette. Good. Gone. What level is Mars now? 15, okay. We'll try to get her up to 16 before we take this on. Right, cool, we can do this. Come on. I don't think Mars needs to be as high as Mercury if I recall correctly. Mercury is just a very unfortunate, incredibly brutal battle. There we go. Alright, 16. Should be good enough. Alright, then we go up and right. And then I'll find out that I'm totally in the wrong place. How were you supposed to find this? Oh, I wasn't supposed to find it yet. Oops. Well, that explains that. Alright, let's get out of here. I guess we're supposed to go to the, like, now extinct village. Alright. This game, for anyone who's playing on original hardware, will know that he's really, really slow going in and out of battle. So if you do a lot of random battles, which you kind of have to do, unfortunately, it is brutal. Come on, come on, come on. Yep, let's save. We are just powering through this. Cool. Let's go, let's go. Ray doesn't have all the time in the world. Let's see. What was I supposed to be going? Okay, so down and then to the right. And then I can get out of this horrible place. Okay, down to the right. There we go, alright. Shocking. Yeah, the village is gone. Alright, so I guess we should probably check out what used to be his house. Lady Mars. There's a million illusions. Oh no! Those are actually just for me? Well, sweet of you guys. Oh, because it goes to. Oh no. The northern cave. Oh Jesus. Now I gotta go back to the northern cave. Alright, Ruby Bracelet. Ruby Tiara, alright. I don't know if I want. Alright. So I hear the music for this game is actually criticized quite a bit. I don't really see why. It's not bad, I mean it's not amazing. It might just be this repetitive, but like even the song here is, I mean it's decent, does what it's supposed to do. Gives cool, interesting vibes. I mean this music is kind of forgettable. Alright, now I'm supposed to go to the cave? Let's see. Da, 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 da. Okay, now I'm supposed to go to the cave. Come on. We're just gonna leave her on Burning Mandala. Did I miss the turnoff? Wow. Yeah, I think I missed the turnoff. Oh, I hate these maps. I would forgive you for thinking that I didn't grow up with Super Nintendo RPGs. Considering my sheer inability to find my way around these places. Alright. Oh, Phobos is alright, good. Yeah, no, I was just complaining about the fact that they're sending me out to the cave and then all the way back. And my sheer inability to navigate these maps. And I find it bizarre that the music here is criticized when the music's pretty much okay. It's serviceable. I think it's just repetitive, and I think that's what people don't like about it. We're almost there. Alright, thank you. Yes, I'm going to use a sacred token. Alright. What's going on? I do kind of like how they have Phobos fly after you. Oh, you know that's a bad thing when they offer you a save point. So the MSU1 music pack, those are when you add in the CD tracks, like I've seen for Rockman X, correct? Well, you guys aren't gonna offer me a map of this place, huh? Yeah, I would say it actually makes more sense to have it a token, because the Ohuda like really wouldn't make sense for it to be here, especially receiving it from a holy priest. So again, I think there are a lot of cases where there's something to be said for actually localizing to make a better end product. No, that's not always the most popular opinion. I think I'll probably just head straight on in. This guide really doesn't do a good job on telling you where to go. Well, this is bizarre. Okay. Alright, I suppose I'm supposed to just like head in straight through the front gate. The obvious answer. Here I'm trying to be clever. See what happens when you try to be clever. Not egotistical at all, Jedi. Wait, was Han supposed to look like Zoisite? If Phaleg was supposed to look like Jedi, no way. You know, I never thought about that, because I know that that actually is the case with a lot of the other people. That'd be really weird if, like, Han's and Zoisite. I don't think I like that. Then again, they don't really look alike now that you mention it, because Phaleg also has the black hair, and his character design looks nothing like Jedi. So that's actually just really bizarre. It's kind of like thrown out there out of nowhere, and then they never really touch on that point. Well, yes, I barely made it here in one piece. Right, so we're gonna fight. I don't really want to fight you. Okay, but I do want the stone. Alright then. I have to punch you. Wait, did she give me the stone or not? It's Phaleg died 50 years ago. What do you mean, like, is she okay? Is he okay? Dude's dead. I always love how totally out of scale these characters are now. Boom. Manicure. I don't even know if this is necessary at this point. I feel like I'm probably going to destroy you. Oh, actually, maybe not. Never mind. Boom. Oh wait, no, I think there's always two battles. Maybe there is. I always really liked the design of these characters. They had a kind of battle athletes feel to them for some reason. I wonder if the artist who worked on these actually had worked on any other anime before. Oh, so it's just one battle. Then why did they make Mercury suck so much? It's just like they decided that the first time that they sent one of the soldiers out on their own, they're just gonna make this as brutal as possible. Oh, Deimos is good too. That's cool. I don't think they were designed by her. Oh, I know that she, and actually it was Osano that had a lot of feedback in the game. Like he would actually come in and make comments on things, like even down to when you had the team like in a circle, and he was like, no, like Pluto should be next to this person, and like they would dictate things like down even on that level, even on like the cutscenes. But I don't believe she was involved in the character designs. If I recall correctly, I don't remember seeing anything about them. I know she did design some of the Yoma for the fighting games, the first and the second ones, but that's about it. Oh no, he's a ghost. He was a dead ghost. Oh no. Yeah, ghost, you're just not. Oh. Goes under the word, I live to protect. Okay. Mythic shape. Bears from existence. Protecting temple. He just cuts out for no reason. Never forget what you've done. And I'm gone. But I was already gone. But now I'm done, not gone. Aww. Poor Ray. Birds cawing at me always makes me feel better too. Oh. Wouldn't surprise me that the original translation totally just destroyed everything that happened here. I do like how they added Luna into this as a little kind of cutscene thing. We're just gonna toss some accessories on you. Defense up. That's 8. It's 4. It's 5. Alright, so you get a tiara, and a tiara, and a bracelet. Yeah, I can see like removing the heart from Luna's sentence. It really doesn't add anything to it. And also it's kind of a somber scene as it is. It just sobbed her eyes out. Just lost someone that she thought she, was the love of her life. Anyway, peace, peace. High five, thumbs up, yay. That'd be a little bit awkward. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna call it here, and we're going to pick up tomorrow. I'm going to upload this to Facebook and then make the announcement same time as today. So what was it? 10 o'clock? I don't remember. Let me turn off this god-awful music. Yeah, 10 o'clock EST and 7 a.m. PST, which is way too early, but Japan. So I guess I will see you all later. Thanks for coming, and look forward to continuing the rest of our sailor adventure together. All right, I'm done.